Welcome. A trip to Pietermaritzburg. We got 8 races out at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. I think there's some good racing. I think there's a few punters that will make some good money on this program. I've just got Darren Burrows with me as standalone for the meeting out at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. I'm going to get straight into the markets. Number 2 Star Performer, 16 to 10. Number 12 King of Goals, the first time I found bit of support, 22 to 10 now, and it's 17 to 2 and better those. All right, Darren, thank you very much for joining us. This horse first time out behind Main Defender. I thought there was a cracking run. Horse to beat is Star Performer. Marco van Rensburg gets the ride. 16 to 10. Are we going to dive into that price?
Well, I would have dived into that price if there wasn't fancied first-timers in the race. He's my clear-cut first choice. He is out of Esterol, who was a 1,000-meter specialist. So I think the drop back from 1,100 to 1,000 is actually in his favor. He returns after a break, but he's highly thought of. He shortened 5 to 2 on debut and ran third to Main Defender, who's a very smart sort with the Peter stable. So if the first timers aren't very strong, I think Star Performer definitely the horse to beat. Now, King of the Gauls has shortened a lot in the betting. I'm not sure what price he opened, but he shortened 22 to 10. He's a Vercingetorix out of a high chaparral mare. I thought the 1,000 may be a bit on the sharp side on pedigree, but he could go very well. And then the Mike de Kock runner, Rafif, Beemanesque by Rafif. I think he could do very well on debut if there's market support. So Star Performer, my outright first choice.
Yeah, and I did chat to Daryl Marie, and he did say to me, listen, if the first timers aren't too good, we'll have to get the lowdown from the presenters at the end of the day. They'll tell us a bit about what the trainers are expecting with these first timers. But if they're not strong, this sort of Star Performer might be worth a bet at 16 to 10. That was a great run behind Main Defender, and I think we'll take all the beating. All right, let's go into those selections. Let's see what we're doing. It's the first leg of the bar pot. Daryl Marie's going to banker number 2 Star Performer by banker 6, by 4 and 9, by 4, 5 and 8, by 1, 2 and 5, by 1, 2, 4 and 12. 72 Rand is the spend, and the first race goes off at 1:45. Race number 2 takes us to the first leg of the place accumulator, and the favourites over here, quite short, 12 to 10, is Captain's Christie. That's number 6. I see Carl Dickon gets the ride for Mark Dixon. Number 7, Ancient Epic at 28 to 10. The 1 Sabatini's at 5 to 1, and it's 6 to 1 and better those. All right, Darren, this was a smashing run from your favourite last time out behind Calamoretta. They did get into a fight that last 100 metres, but she's clearly a horse that's got any amount of ability, Captain's Christie. 12 to 10, are we going to bank this?
Yes, Brandon, we're going to have a bet. We're going to have a strike on Captain's Christie. She's unbeaten over course and distance 2 from 2. Last time out, she looked a winner, and Calamoretta came and caught her on the post. That was a solid effort in a feature race, and I think she'll win. I couldn't believe the price. Some bookmakers priced her up 15 to 10. The field's cut up with the scratchings, and I'll be very disappointed if she doesn't win.
Yeah, she's got the ability, there's no doubts. There's lots to look forward to with Captain's Christie. She's a 3-year-old bay filly. That good run behind Calamoretta last time out, as Darren touched on. She looked all over a winner the last 100 metres, but it was a top ride from Muzi Yeni to get Calamoretta up on the post. That was a good finish, a great race to watch. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what the guys are doing, being the first leg of the PA. Daryl Marie going to bank number 6 Captain's Christie by 4 and 9, by 4 and 5, by 1, 2 and 5, by 1, 2, 4 and 12, by 1, 6 and 7, by 1 and 4 at the back. 288 Rand is the spend, and the first leg of the PA goes off at 20 past 1. First leg of the pick 6, it's race number 3, and the favourites number 9, Jane's Vision at 22 to 10. 11, Kian's Pride, 33 to 10. The 4, Maggie Smith at 5 to 1, and it's 11 to 2 and better those. Darren, it looks to be quite a trappy start to the first leg of the pick 6. There's a few horses that can build on good runs. I mean, that horse Electra Green, I see any old price, 16 to 1. I'm expecting a much better performance. I know you also found us some value in the race, so maybe you can tell us why you like the value and where you're going to play in race number 3.
Well, Brandon, it is tricky. Let's start off with this filly, Maggie Smith. She hasn't been seen since September 2022, but she came to the course with a reputation. She ran a cracking second on debut. I thought a bit unlucky that day not to make a winning debut. And then she went up country to the Highveld, and she made her debut there at 9 to 10, and she was hanging badly. She was never traveling. I don't know if there was an underlying issue that they found, but she's been off the track almost a year, change of stables. Let's see if there's any market support for Maggie Smith. Now, what now, my girl? Very speedy filly. I think back on the turf could suit her. She should run well. Jane's Vision, she's in hot form. Good, decent maiden form of late. She's improving with each and every start. She did beat Kian's Pride last time out when running second to Full of Magic. But Kian's Pride did improve with the blinkers fitted last time out. So 2, 4, 9, and 11. Improvement for Electric Green and Witchwood.
Yeah, I don't like the look of this particular race. Like we've touched on, I think you're going to have to include a good 3, 4, 5 horses just to make sure that you can get through the first leg. There's horses that are improving. I mean, a good run from Jane's Vision last time out when running second. Rachel Venica gets the ride for Michael Roberts, and that's naturally the horse that they all need to beat. All right, let's put up those selections. It is the first leg of the Pick 6. We're going to go and have a good look at what the guys are doing. Darren Burrows has gone 1, 2, 4, 9, and 11 by 5, 8, and 9. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. By 1, 2, 4, 7, 11, and 12. By 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then bank of 4 at the back. 6,300 Rand. You can take a percentage, but you need to be on at 13.55. Race number 4 kicks off jackpot 1, and the favourites over here is Freedom Square, number 8 at 18 to 10. Number 5, Madame Pompadour's at 5 to 2, at 7 to 1, and better those. Darren, I had a good chat with Daryl Marie, and he said he found us some value over here. I'm just trying to find the exact price. Number 4, Valley Gal. I see you getting 17 to 2. He's told me now that this horse is back on turf, we need to respect Valley Gal.
Well, I haven't included her. She's probably my 4th choice in the race, and I've gone 3 runners in the exotics. Now, I like a bit of Madame Pompadour. I watched her carefully last time out, and she found trouble at the 100-meter mark when she was making a run. She had to ease for a stride or two, and then she quickened up again. Now, she had Freedom Square just in front of her. I think she should have finished ahead of Freedom Square. So that's why I'm favouring Madame Pompadour over Freedom Square. And then number 9, Flower Festival. Now, this filly last time I took on Juvenile Plate Company against winners, and she was only beaten 3.75 lengths by Let's Go Now, and we've seen multiple winners from there. So I thought 5, 8, and 9. If you want to include Daryl's fancy Valley Gull, you're more than welcome. The perm will just go up.
Okay, so you've heard it from Darren Burrows. Yeah, big respect for Madame Pompadour, the 3-year-old bay filly. This combination, Calvin Abib and Wendy Whitehead, I think they're going to have a big season. Lots of respect for that individual, and there's obviously got to be lots of respect for Freedom Square. Richard Ferrie gets the ride for Sean Terry. That was a much better run last time out from Freedom Square. Okay, let's put those selections up. It's the first jackpot. It starts now in race number 4. Daryl Marie's gone 4, 5, and 8 in the first leg by 1, 2, and 5, by 1, 2, 4, and 12, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 360 Rand the spend, and race 4 goes off at 2:30. Second jackpot starts now in race number 5. I see 1,400 meters the trip. It goes off at 3:05. The market has them priced up as Hugs and High Fives your favourite, 28 to 10. That's number 8. Richard Ferrie gets the ride. Number 1, Malcolm's Dream at 4 to 1, and it's 5 to 1 and better those. Darren, I think short and sweet from my side. I don't want to sound like a stuck record, but I don't like the look of this race. I think you can make a case for so many horses. Is there any value that you can find us over here?
Brandon, unfortunately not. I made it a field race. I've gone the whole field in the exotics. Now let's touch on your favorite Hugs and High Fives. She came to the course with a reputation. She won first time out. And then a bit of a below par performance. Last time out, she made up a lot of ground late over the 1400 meters on the poly. And she quickened up smartly late. And I think back on the turf with a long run in could suit her down to the ground. Richard Fourie takes the ride. Now you got Kitty Boy's Girl. The Yogas Governor stable have hit good form. This filly back on the turf, I can see her improving again. Her last run on the poly needed the run, bit below par. But I could make a case for each and every runner in this race. Fabulous, Malcolm's Dream, a horse like a little bit naughty, Bitcoin Baby, and others. So a field race, I can't really narrow this race down.
I agree with you. I think it's a very tough race. If I had to, from my side, I think a little bit Naughty and Bitcoin Baby. Those are probably two horses that I would focus on. A little bit Naughty. I see Atendiwe Mgudwa gets the ride for Gareth Van Sale. And then Bitcoin Baby, it's Tristan Godden for Mike Miller. I thought there was a good run over 1600 meters last time out. Now comes back in trip to 1400 meters. Let's put those selections up. Let's see what the guys are doing. It's the second jackpot. Darren Burrows going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. By 1, 2, 4, 7, 11, 12. By 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And banker 4 at the back. 420 Rand is the spend. Let's go on to race number 6. We've got a 12 to 10 favourites over here. Princess Azaria, 12 to 10 in the market. Very short. It's Calvin Abib for Sean Terry. Number 12, Sacred Lily at 4 to 1. The 2, If You Say So, is at 6 to 1. And it's 8 to 1 and better those. Darren, are we going to banker this horse 12 to 10? It's great to see Calvin Abib getting his opportunity for Sean Terry again. I believe this horse is named after Kenneth's daughter. They've got some lovely horses at the moment, and we wish Keystorm Investments all the best. Are we going to dive in 12 to 10? Tommy, can we have a bet?
Brandon, this field is very weak. 12 to 10, I wouldn't be rushing out to take 12 to 10, to be honest. I mean, I thought she was a 2 to 1, 5 to 2 shot. But in saying that, she does hold a lot of these runners on form. That run to Lady Canton, where she was well beaten 5 1/4 lengths, she had a horse like If You Say So, only, what was it, a length and a half behind her. So there wasn't much between numbers 2 and 4. She had Free Will, number 1 on the card, who has no form. She was only 3 lengths behind Lady Azaria. You had Three Little Birds, who was 5 lengths behind Lady Azaria. And you had La Dreamer, only 3 lengths behind Lady Azaria. So there was not much separating all of 1, 2, 4, 7, and 11. I've included all 5 of them because I thought the favorite could be a bit suspect, even though she's the horse to beat. And then one more to consider, Sacred Lily, on that good last effort on the poly behind the runaway winner, Woodland Glade. So I've included all of those runners.
Now, look, if you're going to play to beat the favourites over here, Princess Azaria, you're going to have to include a good 6-7 horses. I can see why Darren's a bit suspect on the price. I mean, last time out, it wasn't the best of runs. I'm not saying it was a bad run, but I'm not sure this horse is a 12 to 10 shot. Number 4, you might get better closer to race time. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what the guys are going to do. In this particular race, Daryl Marie said take a double on the tote. Go and take 1, 2, 4, and 12 in race number 6. And then race 7, go 1, 6, and 7. So 1, 2, 4, 12 by 1, 6, and 7. You can take it for as many times as you possibly can. Race goes off at 15:40. The penultimate on today's 8-race program is race number 7. The favourites, number 1, Aurora Storm at 5 to 2. It's Richard Fourie for Peter Muscat. Number 7, Kitcher Culls at 4 to 1. And it's 11 to 2 and better those. Some nice horses over here, Darren. This horse, Aurora Storm, from that inside draw, always going to make life a bit easier. One horse that I've always thought a bit more of, and I've actually been quite disappointed with him of late, is Beyond the Boundary. I see that's priced up at 12 to 1.
Yes, Brandon, it is a competitive race. Let's touch on a couple of runners that have winning chances. Now, Kitcher Cull, I've always thought a lot of this horse. His penultimate start, he won a cracker beating Fight Song. And last time out, he was in need of the run, beaten by Celestial City, who is improving with each and every start and looks a decent sort. So Kitchikal's one of the leading lights. You've got to include the favourite Aurora's Storm. He ran second to Ponte Pietra last time out. He picked up a 4-point penalty, but he's improving. He's a young 4-year-old. He could win from a one draw. Others to consider, Beyond the Boundary. I thought very unlucky in his penultimate start behind Turpitz. He got cramped badly for Galloping Room, and that put him off his stride. I think he would have finished a lot closer. Willow Express, not out of it. I do believe he's a better 1,400-meter horse. Ideal Act. Now, he needed his last run behind Celestial City. He's very capable on his day. He is drawn out deep, but he likes to be tucked in towards the back end of the field. And others to consider, Shampompa, Shampisi, Fateful Day. It is a competitive race. I thought between Kitchikal and Aurora Storm, but it could be more open than that.
Yeah, some lovely horses over here. Beyond the Boundary, I'm going to be watching him closely. I think 12 to 1's a big price. The money Aurora Storm, that inside draw, is always going to help you. And Richard Faree, well, he's a man that's going to be chasing the championship. He's back from his small little break, and it's great to have him back in the saddle. Let's go and put those selections up. Let's see what we're doing in this particular race. Daryl Marie said go and take a tote double. In this race, he's going 1, 6, and 7. So Aurora Storm, 6 Fateful Day, and number 7 Kitchikal, and the last race he's going 1 and 4. You can obviously take it for as much as you possibly can, but race 7 goes off at 13 minutes past 4. That's the last race, and we know who's riding the favourite here. It's Richard Faree. 4 to 1, rides for Wendy Whitehead. That's Senor Garcia, number 4. Number 7, Eddie the Mover, is at 9 to 2, and it's 6 to 1 and better those. Darren, Richard Faree, the man we're going to be following in the new season. No doubt, like I said, he'll be chasing the championship. He'll be doing a bit of travelling. He finds an excellent opportunity here with Senor Garcia to wrap up proceedings. Is this your first choice?
Yes, Brandon. I like to end the weekend on a high note, and I've opted to tip a win bet on Senor Garcia. Richard Faree takes a ride. Last time I just put a line through that run. That wasn't his run. His last run at Scottsville over course and distance. He was very unlucky. He cramped for Galloping Room at a crucial stage behind Moya Wala Liga. I thought that was a very good effort, and on that run alone, I think he's just about got the beating of this field. So on his best form, his penultimate start, he ran second to Joshua Hotsnake, beaten ahead. We saw Joshua Hotsnake frank that form by winning just the other day. So let's take our chances and take some 7 to 2 or 4 to 1 Senor Garcia.
Yeah, a big thank you to Darren Burrows for helping us on the show. We hope that by now you've made a few rand and you've backed a few winners to set you up for the new week. From my side, I think this was Northern Warrior also needs to be respected. Number 2, nothing wrong with his form. He's a 6-year-old bay gelding, and every time he runs, he seems to be right there. So Northern Warrior for me at about 6 to 1 could be the value. Okay, let's put up those selections. Darren Burrows did say he's going to tip Senor Garcia as his win bet. He suggested you can go and put 100 rand on, and hopefully he can come through with flying colours to end off the weekend on a good note and set us up for the new week, obviously. Thanks to the team behind the scenes. It's been Neo, it's been Dylan and Urasha. We've had Daryl Marie during the course of the weekend, as well as Darren Burrows. We'll chat again soon. From all of us, from the Waited to Win team, bye-bye.